So long as I am an aid and not a distraction, Ostra. Only a week left until holidays. Oh, lovely. Got any good fun planned? Or is it to see how things go? This is a terrible... Where are you changing our bookmark for this to... Ah, yes. The Mead Man. If any of you are British, fantastic mead. Really is very good. Finally staying longer on the streams. Ah, true. Otherwise you have to get off early for sleep, which is incredibly important. The other night, I couldn't get to sleep for a very long time. It was, I think, 5 in the morning before I actually managed to doze off. I was woken up at 10, and then very busy with manual labour through the day. And with one of those on my wrist. Yeah. No, trust me, after years of giving myself terrible sleep patterns, short amounts of sleep, you really need to actually make sure you look after yourself. I do appreciate that, though. I'm not terribly sure how long we'll be streaming tonight. I'm not sure what we're doing other than a couple of these ones at least. Anyway, we are currently with the Eskimo tribe, and this is an improvised song of joy. Oh, I have no idea how to pronounce that, but ayaya, ayah, yaya, the lands around me dwelling are more beautiful from the day when it is given me to see faces I have never seen before. All is more beautiful, all is more beautiful, and life is thankfulness. These guests of mine make my house grand. Ayaya, ayah, yaya. With Eskimos, that actually makes a lot more sense. They would very rarely see anyone out of their own tribe, I suppose. So any visitor would be a wonderful welcome. Generally. This is a note from the editors. The old woman, Takmawak, who was about to serve a meal she had prepared for Resmusum and his companion, was so pleased at the sight of the tea he contributed that she at once joyfully improvised the above song. Hydrate. Many thanks. Oh, that is an interesting flavour. I'm drinking some of my uncle's homemade wine. He's trying to pick up where my grandfather left. Pick up where my grandfather left off. It's going to take him a little while to get into the swing of things, but he's putting in a good effort. The land of heaven. Heaven is a great land. In that land there are many holes. Those holes we call stars. In the land of heaven lives Pana, the woman up there. There is a mighty spirit, and the Angatakat, that was horribly butchered, I apologize, hold that it is a woman. To her pass the souls of the dead, and sometimes, when many die, there are many people up there. When anything is spilt up there, it pours out through the stars and becomes rain or snow. The souls of the dead are reborn in the dwellings of Pana and brought down to earth again by the moon. When the moon is absent, and cannot be seen in the sky, it is because it is busy helping Panar by bringing souls to Earth. Some become human beings once more, others become animals, all manner of beasts, and so life goes on without end. I like that. I like that a lot. Again, to anyone that's sat in a few of these reading streams where I just kind of go off on one at some point, I thoroughly love the idea of reincarnation. It's so pure. You couldn't resist, could you? How are you, Earthman? Oh, hey. And there's where we are with the Cromwell at the moment, if you wished to see. Little tip that I've found. Hang on, let's pop you down. If that focuses. Coffee grounds are a fantastic medium for mud. But so are tea leaves. If that'll focus. Looks ever so nice. And I've also decided on the diorama for this. It'll be sunk in a small field. This Land Rover will have tipped over onto its side, hence the mud, and there will be a recovery Land Rover, and they will be digging this out of a field. I think it'll be tremendous. It'll be the first diorama I do as well. Good fun, good fun. So I might be able to get away with a few of your scratch build tips. Birch seed. Ooh, that's a very good idea. You are an absolute treasure trove, I swear. Oh yeah, Earthman, if you like the drawings of tanks and that kind of stuff, do see what A10 Warthog is putting in the Discord. He's doing some wonderful things. It's genuinely impressive seeing his progression. And so long as he keeps at it, he will just get better and better. A woman's first sewing after mourning. Mourning as in the term for the past, the deceased, that style of mourning, not mourning as in to wake. We'll do more British tanks. Wonderful. Whose claws have I for pinching fingers? The bat's claws I have for pinch fingers. On account of my housewife work, whose claws have I for pinch fingers? The crab's claws I have for pinch fingers, on account of my housewife's work. From a groove day, the sky clears. Poetry of the American Indians. Wow, I am struggling today, and I've barely started. You've got to recall that the vast majority of British tanks are all the same width, because they had to go through the tunnels. So they had to be able to fit through the smallest tunnel. So they had an absolute maximum size, and they almost all used it. Fun little trivia fact for you there. Cool, oh, Centurion. Right. Editor's note once again. This magic formula was used by a woman the first time she began to sew again after a period of mourning. The idea is familiar as compulsive magic. The primitive mind believes that if you say you love special powers, those powers will be granted to you. I don't buy into that entirely. Walrus hunting. The walrus, I harpoon it, strike its cheek. You have become quiet and meek. The walrus, I harpoon it, patting its tusks. You have become quiet and meek. We're not going to go into that kind of context with the readings we're doing at the moment. That does not fit. That was from the same set of books by the look. Editor's note. Incantations to ensure good hunting were common among all natives from the Arctic to the equator. It is, in this example, the hunter hoped the charm would subdue the fierceness of the walrus, so that it might be easily harpooned when the close fighting began. I take it you all know how walruses and such were hunted by the Eskimos, how they used seal carcasses attached to the end of the harpoons, inflated them like balloons, and made it so they had enough harpoons in the creature so it could no longer dive. They hunted whales, they hunted everything they could in such a manner so that it would tire itself out and be unable to dip to safety. Inuit Eskimos, I mean, it really depends on whereabouts you are. I'm not saying they're the same thing, but we are very much on the Eskimo tribes at the moment. It's very interesting, though. Like the entire premise of just tiring your meal out so very much that it can no longer escape is straight from the animal kingdom. It's beautifully simple. Also, I think I heard the cat, so I shall be just a moment. Stay. I am hearing things. Eskimo was a French name they gave them, meaning those who eat raw. Really? I never knew that. So how did the French coin the term that now everyone knows them by? Good point. Never mind. Yep. No, that does make sense. I mean, again, though, raw fish is not really an issue. There is a good amount of things that you can eat raw and not have any real issues so long as you understand what it is, how it was there, and how it's been. Fish is one of the safest bets, though. Hence why we still serve it today. The kayak paddler's joy at the weather. When I'm out of the house in the open, I feel joy. When I get out on the sea on haphazard, I feel joy. If it is really fine weather, I feel joy. If the sky really clears nicely, I feel joy. May it continue thus, for the good of my sailing. May it continue thus, for the good of my hunting. May it continue thus, for the good of my singing. May it continue thus, for the good of my drum song. Ooh. That was apparently the end of that one. What do you mean by life beyond Earth? Are you saying aliens or are you saying afterlife? Because those are two very different questions there. Not directly aliens, so other life forms, you mean? We're going to get into a weird topic if we continue down this one. Not aliens, but kind of aliens. Personally, purely me, the universe is far too vast for us and our planet to be the only with life. I firmly believe that there is something, and it's out there. Who knows how far away, who knows how intelligent, and who knows how cognitive. I mean, weren't they only recently talking about space bears that are absolutely micro? I mean, if they can actively and successfully live in the vacuum of space. Again, this is all from just a few little things that I've seen here and there. I've not done research or anything to that effect. And if you have any knowledge, do please share. I love this kind of stuff. But if they can actually live in the vacuum of space, that is amazing beyond belief. Also, the US is leaking all info they have in this stuff now. Yes, I've been seeing a few of those. A few of them are very easily explainable away. That is a terribly formed sentence. Some of them are incredibly easy to explain away. No one can be certain what they have in Area 51. A huge amount of these sightings that were reported say, oh, what's that famous one? Oh, I forget. The town. Yeah, prototype planes. Absolutely, yes. One of the ones most famously done, as depicted by a saucer, absolutely was a prototype plane. It was locally. Hold on. I'll pull up a picture actually. It was known as the Flying Pumpkin. What on earth are you? That's what you are. You go away. Hang on, yeah, let's just pull it up on you. Hang on. Where's my. There. That's not what I'm after. Is it you? That's not what I was thinking, but that's along the lines of it. That's Twitter. I don't even know if I have Twitter. Look, just view the image. There we are. Named kamikaze nukes so they can't get EMP'd. Oh, that's terrifying. This, hold on. With the size of that propeller, this has to be an ultralight. Oh, I see how that one works. This one's lovely. Very simple. Not what I was thinking, though. Teeny tiny engine. Close that. You go away as well. That's not it. No. I don't recall what it was named. But basically, it was just a flat disk will it show here? What are you? Ooh, that's showing some nice ones. Oh, I know about that one. We've gone way off topic here, haven't we? I know that one. That's just an arrow. That's hilarious. That's Russian. Oh wait, no, the Americans made one as well. Terribly sorry. Is this the one I'm thinking of? No. Similar to this, but not. I'll have to find that some other day. What the hell is that? That is disgusting. Ugh. Anyway. We shall return to the aforementioned readings. We are moving over to the Hopi tribe. And this is the Corn Blessing song. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Korsta Ketsna song. Yellow butterflies over the blossoming virgin corn, with pollen-painted faces, chase one another in brilliant throng. Blue butterflies over the blossoming virgin beans, with pollen-painted faces, chase one another in brilliant streams. Over the blossoming corn, over the virgin corn, wild bees hum. Over the blossoming beans, over the virgin beans, wild bees hum. Over your field of growing corn, all day shall hang the thunder cloud. Over your field of growing corn, all day shall come the rushing rain. British Alien Tech, the flying tea kettle. I will have a look at that later. Not right this moment. Apparently that's the only thing they were able to acquire from the Hopi tribe, which is a terrible shame because they have quite an interesting backstory. I mean, Christ, all of them do. I'm not sure quite how to pronounce that, but I'll go with Irakus. Not Ruckus. The speech to text is doing its best, I swear. This is At the World's Edge. Now today I have been greatly startled by your voice coming through the forest to this opening. You may come with troubled mind, through all obstacles. You kept seeing the places where they met, on whom we depend, my offspring. How then can your mind be at ease? You kept seeing the footmarks of my forefathers, and all but perceptible is the smoke where they used to smoke their pipe together. Can then your mind be at ease when you are weeping on your way? Grant thanks now, therefore, that you have safely arrived. Now, then, let us smoke the pipe together, because all around are hostile agencies which are each thinking, I will frustrate their people. Here thorny ways, and here falling trees, and here wild beasts lying in ambush. Either by these you might be perished, my offspring, or by the uplifted hatchet in the dark outside the house. Every day these are wasting us, or deadly, invisible diseases might have destroyed you, my offspring. Great thanks now, therefore, that in safety you have come through the forest. Oh, I like that. That's one of the only ones so far to talk about man attacking other man. Quite nice it was, but now I have to leave, he said. With the British man the book read. He said goodbye, waving away. Enjoy yourself, and have a nice day. Very nicely done, Warthog. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And next time I stream, possibly I'll throw you a little something to draw for next time. I know you enjoy that. Have a wonderful night. We are moving on to Death of a Son. My son, listen once more to the words of your mother. You were brought into life with her pains. You were nourished with her life. She has attempted to be faithful in raising you up. When you were young, she loved you as her life. Your presence has been a source of great joy to her. Upon you she depends for support and comfort in the declining days. She had always expected to gain the end of the path of life before you. But you have outstripped her and gone before her. Our great and wise Creator has ordered it thus. By his will I am left to taste more of the miseries of this world. Your father and relatives have gathered about your body to look upon you for the last time. They mourn, as with one mind. Your departure from among us, we, too, have but a few days more, and our journey shall be ended. We part now, and you are conveyed from our sight, but we shall soon meet again, and shall again look upon each other. Then we shall part no more. Our Maker has called you to his home. Thither will we follow. Naho. Oh, my heart. It hurts. I'm sorry, that was absolutely lovely. After this, we're going to do prayer. Yeah, we'll finish off the Irakus. Then we shall move to another book for a moment. I'm not sure for how long. This is prayer. We return thanks to our Mother, the Earth, which sustains us. We return thanks to the rivers and streams, which supply us with water. We return thanks to all herbs, which furnish medicines for the cure of our diseases. We return thanks to the corn and to her sisters, the beans and the squashes, which give us life. We return thanks to the bushes and trees, which provide us with fruit. We return thanks to the wind, which moving the air has banished disease. We return thanks to the moon and stars, which have given to us their light when the sun was gone. We return thanks to our grandfather, He-No, that he has protected his grandchildren from witches and reptiles, and has given up to us his reign. We return thanks to the sun, that he has looked upon the earth with the beneficent eye. Beneficent, yes, eye. Lastly, we return thanks to the Great Spirit, in whom the embodied all goodness, and who directs all things for the good of the children. Of his children. Ever so pleasant. Dream events. After having a dream, let someone else guess what it was, then have everyone act it out together. Have participants run around the center of the village, acting out their dreams and demanding that others guess the satisfy them. Oh, that sounds hilarious. That would be terrible good fun, but I reckon that would be more for a local community that's very small or a home environment. That would be wonderful for, if I'd been doing this a year ago and, say, first lockdown. That would have been fantastic advice. So I have changed my mind a touch, and I reckon we shall read some William Blake. I could rather enjoy his work. But first, a touch of refreshment. Shift those off to the side for a moment. Do I have a bookmark in you? No. Okay. These are all from the year 1783. To the Four Seasons. To spring. O thou, with dewy locks, who lookest down through the clear window of the morning, turn thine angel eyes upon the western isle, which in full choir hails thy approach, O spring. The hills tell each other, and the listened valleys hear. All our longing eyes are turned up to thy bright pavilions. Issue forth, and let thy holy feet visit our clime. Come o'er the eastern hills, and let our winds kiss thy perfumed garments. Let us taste thy morn and evening breath. Scatter thy pearls upon our lovesick land that mourns for thee. O deck her forth with thy fair fingers, pour thy soft kisses on her bosom, and put thy golden crown upon her languished head, whose modest treasures were bound up for thee. To summer, O thou, the passest through our valleys in thy strength. Curb thy fierce steeds, allay the heat that flames from their large nostrils. Thou, O summer, oft pitchedst here thy golden tent, and oft beneath the oak hast slept, while we behold with joy thy ruby limbs and flustering hair. Beneath our thickest shades we oft have heard thy voice, when noon upon his ferved car rode o'er the deep of heaven beside our springs, sit down, and in our mossy valleys, on some bank beside a river, clear through thy still drapers off, and rush into the stream. Our valleys love the summer in his pride. Our bards are famed who strike the silver wire. Our youth are bolder than the southern swines. Our maiden fairer in the sprightly dance. We lack not songs nor instruments of joy, nor echoes sweet, nor waters clear as heaven, nor laurel wreaths against the sultry heat. To autumn, oh autumn, laden with fruit and stained with the blood of the grape, pass not, but sit beneath my shady roof. There thou mayst rest, and tune thy jolly voice to my fresh pipe. And all the daughters of the year shall dance. Sing now the lusty song of fruits and flowers. The narrow bud opens her beauteous to the sun, and love runs in her thrilling veins. Blossoms hung round the brows of morning, and flourish down the bright cheek of modest eve, till clustering summer breaks forth into singing, and feathered clouds strew flowers round her head. The spirits of the air live in the smells of fruit and joy. The pinion's light roves round the garden, or sits singing in the trees. Thus sang the jolly autumn as he sat, then rose, girding himself, and o'er the bleak hills fled from our sight, but left his golden land. To winter, O winter, bar thine admission doors, the north is thine. There hast thou built thy dark, deep-founded habitations. Shake not thy roofs, nor bend thy pillars with thine iron car. He hears me not, but o'er the yawning deep riders heavy. His storms are unchained, sheathed in ribbed steel. I dare not lift mine eyes, for he hath reared his sceptre o'er the world. Lo, now the direful monster, whose skin clings to his strong bones, strides o'er the groaning rocks. He weathered all in silence, and his hand unclothes the earth and freezes up frail life. He takes the seat upon the cliff. The mariner cries in vain. Poor little wretch, that dealest with storms till heaven smiles, and the monster is driven yelling to the caves beneath the Mount Hakel. Oh, that's terribly fun. Very harsh winter by the sounds of it, though. Yet he wasn't that far north, if I remember correctly. To the evening star, thou fair-haired angel of the evening, now, whilst the sun rest on the mountain's light, the bright torch of love, thy radiant crown put on, and smile upon our evening bed, smile on our loves, and while thou drawest thy blue curtain of the sky, scatter thy silver dew on every flower that shuts its sweet eyes in timely sleep. Let the west wind sleep on the lake, speak silence with thy glimmering eyes, and wash the dusk with silver. Soon, full soon dost thou withdraw. Then the wolf rages wide, and the lion glares through the dumb forest. The fleeces of the flocks are covered with the sacred dew. Protect them with thine influence. To morning. O Holy Virgin, clad in purest white, unlock heaven's golden gates and issue forth. Awake the dawn that sleeps in heaven. Let light rise from the chambers of the east, and bring the honeyed dew that cometh on waking day. O radiant morning, salute the sun, roused like huntsmen to the chase, and with the buskined feet appear upon the hills. Now these next ones look as though they are simply named song. So I shan't be differentiating, but I will point out when one ends and one does not. So here is the beginning. How sweet I roamed from field to field, and tasted all the summer's pride, till I the Prince of Love beheld, who in the summer beams did glide. He showed me lilies for my hair, and blushing roses from my brow. He led me through his garden fair, where all his golden pleasures grew. With sweet May dews my wings were wet, and phobias fired my vocal rage. He caught me in the silken net, and shut me in the golden cage. He loves to sit and hear me sing, then laugh, sports and play with me, then stretches out my golden wing, and mocks my loss of liberty. By the sounds of it, catching a bird and clipping its wings, so it can no longer fly away. Terrible shame. The next one begins as thus. My silks and fine array, my smiles and languished air, by love are driven away, and mountful lean despair brings me you to deck my grave. Such end true loves have, his face is fair as heaven, when spring buds unfold. Oh, why to him wast given, whose heart is wintry cold? His breast is love's all-worshipped tomb, where all love pilgrims go. Bring me an axe and spade, bring me a winding sheet. When I my grave have made, let winds and tempests beat them down. I'll lie, as cold as clay. True love doth pass away. Okay, the next one does continue across to the next page, and it starts thus. Love and harmony combine, and around our souls entwine, while thy breeches mix with mine, branches, and our roots together join. Joys upon our branches sit, chirping loud and singing sweet, like gentle streams beneath our feet. Innocence and virtue meet. Thou the golden fruit dost bear, I am clad in flowers fair. Thy sweet sports perfume in the air, and the turtle buildeth there. There she sits and feeds her young. Sweet I hear her mournful song. And thy lovely leaves among, there is love, I hear her tongue. There his charming nest doth lay, there he sleeps the night away, there he sports along the day, and doth among our branches play. Simply entitled Song once more. I love the joyous dance, the softly breathing song, where innocent eyes do glance, and where lisps the maiden's tongue. I love the laughing vale, I love the echoing hill, where mirth does never fail, and the jolly swain laughs his fill. I love the pleasant cot, I love the innocent bower, where white and brown is our lot, or fruit in the midday hour. I love the oaken seat, beneath the oaken tree, where all old villagers meet, and laugh our sports to see. I love the neighbours all, but Kitty, I better love thee, and love them I ever shall, but thou art all to me. And many thanks for the follow, Sky. It's greatly appreciated. Just recall that we simply read poetry or any form of book realistically on Sunday alone. And a little salute to you as well. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're interested in model making as such, that is on a Wednesday. Tuesdays and Fridays are for games generally. Feel free to join whenever you wish, though. You'll always be welcome. This one, once more, is simply entitled Song. Oh, also, William Blake is what we are reading today. We did start off with the Native American Wisdom. It is truly enjoyable. Memory, hither come, and tune your merry notes. One moment, I have to go check on what that was. Terribly sorry. I'll be back in a moment. Right. I don't think we are far enough to warrant continuing, so we'll just simply start again. Memory, hither come, and tune your merry notes, and while upon the wind your music floats, I'll pour upon the stream where slinging lovers dream, and fish for fiancés as they pass within the watery glass. I'll drink of the clear stream, and I'll hear linnet's song, and there I'll lie and dream the day along, and when night comes, I'll go to place fit for woe, walking along the darkened valley with silent melancholy. Now this next one is entitled Mad Song. How many songs do we have? Oh, okay. That looks like a play. It is. Shall we be reading a play today? Feel free to let me know what your thoughts are on such. I'm quite happy to. This one is entitled Mad Song. The wild wind weeps, and the night is a cold. Come hither, sleep, and my griefs enfold. But lo, the morning peeps over the eastern steeps, and the rustling birds of dawn to the earth do scorn. Lo, to the vault of paved heaven, with sorrow fought, my notes are driven. They strike the ear of night, make weep the eyes of day. They make mad the roaring winds, and with tempests play. Like a fiend in a cloud, with a howling woe, after night I do crowd, and with night will go. I turn my back to the east, from whence comforts have increased, for light doth seize my brain with frantic pain. Excuse me. He has a very intriguing way of writing. It truly is quite enjoyable to read so long as you don't stumble, and I do sincerely apologize about that. Once more, simply entitled Song. Fresh from the dewy hills, the merry year smiles on my head. The mountains his flaming car. Round my young brows the laurel wreaths a shade, and rising glories beam around my head. My feet are winged while o'er the dewy lawn I meet my maiden, risen like the morn. Oh, bless those holy feet, like angels' feet. Oh, bless those limbs, beaming with heavenly light, like as an angel glittering in the sky, in times of innocence and holy joy. The joyful shepherd stops his graceful song to hear the music of the angel's tongue. So when she speaks, the voice of heaven I heard. So when we walk, nothing impure comes near. Each field seems Eden, and each calm retreat, each village seems the haunt of the holy feet. But that sweet village where my black-eyed maid closes her eyes in sleep beneath night's shade, whene'er I enter, more than mortal fire burns in my soul, and does my song inspire. Oh, good Lord, that hits me hard. So, oh shit. Okay, lovely. So, as I'm sure a fair few of you know, I am betrothed to a lady in the States. I am very clearly not in the States. We have met in person a grand total of one time, and without any hesitation was it the best time of my life. I have never felt joy to that extent. I have never felt relaxed, ever, until then. And for me to proceed with such, I must be with her. I must leave my land, I must leave my home, my heritage, and travel over to the Americas. And this doesn't terrify me at all. Also, many thanks for the follow. Something else. How are you doing today? I'm not sure if I should continue on this little ramble I was about to have or get back to reading. Once you do find someone that you truly do connect with on a spiritual level, though, it is entirely different. And I'm not trying to talk in religious terms or anything to that effect. Someone that touches your soul, someone that makes your heart just feel right. Someone that cleans up the demons in your head, someone that you look at and everything is right. Everything is just washed away. I know it sounds like I'm talking of the honeymoon period, but no. When you are with the person that you are to be with, everything is right. I mean, of course, things can go wrong, things can suffer, but at the end of the day, you being with that singular person that makes you whole, everything will work out, everything will be fine. And I'm vaguely curious what happens if I do that. Oh, it goes wrong. Oh, it goes very wrong. Let's put you back. There we are. Anyway, back to readings. Don't forget. Hang on. Let's actually do the command. You are free to join the Discord, and if you do. Discord. You can absolutely. I did not spell that right at all. My word. There we are. You are absolutely able to suggest something to read in future. Be that a single poem, a poet, or an entire book. I do have things to read on stream in time. Being, fairly sizable novels. I've got all 3 of them. And they shall be done in time. This is volume 2. Where's volume 1? Volume 1. And volume 3. They will be done in time. But for the more, hello, Peachy. Stay. How are you today? And you may well get to decide whether we do a screenplay style thing or not. I'm at work, so I can't chat much, but I'm here, chillin'. Ooh, wonderful. I hope you have a good day. And by the sounds of it, you will want the longer reading, so I shall do so. I'll just adjust my posture, and I recommend that you all do as well. There. So we shall do the one last song in this section, and move on to a longer reading. When early morn walks forth in sober grey, then to my black-eyed maid I haste away. When evening sits beneath her dusky bower, and gently sighs away the silent hour, the village bell alarms, away I go. and the veil of darkness set my pensive woe to that sweet village where my black-eyed maid doth drop a tear beneath the silent shade. I turn my eyes, and pensive as I go, curse my black stars, and bless my pleasing woe. Oft, when the summer sleeps among the trees, whispering faint murmurs to the scent breeze, I walk the village round, if at her side a youth doth walk in stolen joy and pride. And I curse my stars in bitter grief and woe, that made my love so high, and me so low. Oh, should she e'er prove false, his limbs I'd tear, and throw all pity on the burning air. I'd curse bright fortune for my mixed lot, and then I'd die in peace and be forgot. Oh, Peachy, I know how it goes, don't worry. I'm dreadful for it. I mean, I'm currently sat on one of my legs. You know how it is. And have a good drink. Oh, it is not getting any better. It is bitter. Ah. Not entirely pleasant. So what we shall now be reading is King Edward III, written in 1783. There is King Edward, the Black Prince, Queen, oh, that's a name, Philippa, Duke of Clarence, Sir John Chandos, Sir Thomas Dogworth, that would be Thomas. So Thomas, yeah, good point. Sir Walter Manny, Lord Audley, Lord Percy, Bishop, whose name is just Bishop, William Dogworth's man, Peter Blunt, common soldier. I like how we have an entire character list right there. Scene 1. The coast of France, King Edward and nobles, the army. King. O thou to whose fury the nations are but as dust, mainland thy serviced right, without thine aid the twisted mail and spear and forged helm and shield of 7 times beaten brass are idle trophies of the vanquisher. When confusion rages, when the field is in flame, when the cries of blood tear horror from heaven, and yelling death runs up and down the ranks, let liberty, the charting right of Englishmen, won by the fathers in the many of won by our fathers in many a glorious field, enerve my soldiers, let liberty blaze in each continuance, and fire the battle. The enemy fight in chains, invisible chains, but heavy. Their minds are fettered. Then how can they be free? While, like the mountain flame, we spring to battle o'er the floods of death. And these fair youths, the flower of England, venturing their lives in the most righteous cause, oh, sheathe their hearts with triple steel, that they may emulate their fathers' virtues. And thou, my son, Be strong, thou fightest for a crown that death can never ravish from thy brow. A crown of glory, but from thy very dust shall beam a radiance to fire the to fire the breast of youth unborn. Our names are written equal in fame's wide trophied hall. 'Tis ours to gild the letter and to make them shine with gold that never tarnishes, whether 3rd Edward or the Prince of Wales or... Oh, no, that's the thing. Montacute or Mortimer, or even the last by birth shall gain the brightest flame, is in his hand to whom all men are equal. The world of men are like the numerous stars that beam and twinkle in the depth of night, each clad in glory according to his sphere, but we, that wander from our native seats and beam forth lustre on a darkling world, grow larger as we advance, and some perhaps the most obscure at home, the scarce were seen to twinkle in their sphere, may so advance that the astonished world, with upturned eyes, regardless of the moon, and those that once were bright, stand only for to gaze upon their splendor. He here knights the prince and other young nobles. Now let us take just revenge for those brave lords who fell beneath the bloody axe at Paris. Thanks, noble Harcourt, for 'twas by your advice we landed here in Brittany, a country not yet sown with destruction. And when the fairy whirlwind or swift war was not yet swept, its desolating wing into 3 parties we divide by day, and separate march, but join again at night. Each knows his rank, and heaven marshal all. Ooh. English court, Lionel Duke of Clarence, and Queen Philippa, Lord, Bishop, etc. Clarence, so that would be the Duke. My lord, I have, by the advice of her whom I am doubly bound to obey, my parent and my sovereign, called you together. My task is great, my burden heavier than than my unfledged years. Yet with the kind assistance, lords, I hope England shall dwell in peace, that while my father toils in his wars, and turns his eyes on his native shore, and sees commerce fly round with his white wings, and sees the golden London and her silver Thames thronging with shining spires, and corded ships, her merchants buzzing round like summer bees, and all the golden cities, in the land overflowing with honey, glory may not be dimmed with clouds of care. Say, lords, should not our thoughts be first for commerce? My lord Bishop, you would recommend us agriculture. Bishop, Sweet prince, the arts of peace are great, and no less glorious than those of war. Perhaps more glorious is the philosophic mind. When I sit at my home, a private man, my thoughts are on the gardens and the fields, how to employ the hands. Lacketh bread. Oh, sorry, yeah, the hand that lacketh bread. If industry is in my discourse, religion will flourish. Each man's heart is cultivated and will bring forth fruit. This is my private duty and my pleasure. But as in council with my prince, my thoughts take in the general good of the whole, and England is the land of favour by commerce. For commerce, though the child of agriculture, fosters his parent, who else must sweat and toil, and gain but scanty fare. Then, my dear lord, be England's trade our care, and we, as tradesmen, looking to gain of this our native land. Who's Clara? One moment. Terribly sorry. Where was it? There. Who's Clara? I don't know who Clara is. I'm going to give Clara lady's voice to some effect. Oh my good lord, that's not a lady's voice at all. Whatever, we just go. Oh my good lord, true wisdom drops like honey from your tongue, as from a worshipped oak. Forgive, my lords, my talkative youth, that speaks not merely with my narrow observations, has picked up, but what I have concluded from your lessons. Now, by the Queen's advice, I ask you leave to dine tomorrow with the Mayor of London. If I obtain your leave, I have another boon to ask. That means favour, by the way. Boon is a favour. Which is the favour of your company. I fear Lord Percy will not give me leave. Percy. Dear sir, a prince should always keep his state, and grant his favour with a sparing hand, or they are never rightly valued. These are my thoughts. Yet it were best to go. But keep a proper dignity, for now you represent the sacred person of your father. 'Tis with princes, and 'tis with the son. If not sometimes o'erclouded, we grow weary of his official glory. Clara. Then you will give me leave to shine sometimes, my lord. Lord, thou hast a gallant spirit, which I fear will be imposed on by a closer sword. Clara. Well, I'll endeavour to take Lord Percy's advice. I have used so much to dignity that I am sick on't. Queen. Fie, Lord Clarence, you pronounced not to business, but spake on your own pleasure. I hope their lordship will excuse your giddiness. Sorry, that is beautiful, I like that. Clara. My lords, the French have fitted out many small ships of war that, like to revelling wolves, infest our English seas, devouring all our bounded vessels, spoiling our naval flocks. The merchants do complain and beg our aid. Percy, the merchants are rich enough. Can they not help themselves? Damn it, Percy. Bishop. They can and may, but how to gain their will requires the continuance and help. Percy. When they find they must, my lord, they will. Let them but suffer a while, and you shall see. They will bestir themselves. Bishop, Lord Percy cannot mean that we should suffer this disgrace. If so, we are not sovereigns of the sea. Our right that heaven gave to England, when at the birth of nature she was seated in the deep, the ocean ceased his mighty roar, and fawning played around her snowy feet, and owned his awful queen, Lord Percy. If the heart is sick, the head must be aggrieved. If but one member suffer, the hearth to fall. You say, my lord, the merchants can, if they will, defend themselves against those robbers. This is in a noble scheme, worthy the brave Lord Percy, and as worthy as worthy his generous aid to put into practice. Percy, Lord Bishop, what was rush in me, is wise in you. I dare not own the plain, 'tis not mine, yet will I, if you please, quickly to the Lord Mayor, and work him onward to the most glorious voyage, on which cast I'll set my whole estate. But we will bring those Gallic rovers under. Queen. Thanks. No, that's not her voice. Thanks, brave Percy, and have thanks of England, Queen, and will ere long of England. I cannot do a woman's voice, I do apologize. No, that still does not go down smoothly. I might have to pour myself some water in a little touch. Scene 3. At Crecy, Sir Thomas Dogworth and Lord Audley meeting. Audley. I don't know what voice to give Audley. Good morrow, brave Sir Thomas. The bright morn smiles on our army, and the gallant sun springs from the hills like a young hero into battle, shaking his glorious locks exultingly. This is a promising day. Dogworth. Why, my lord? Why, my lord Lord Audley? That hurts. I don't know. Give me your hand, and now I'll tell you what I think. You do not know Edward's afraid of Philip. Ha ha, Sir Thomas, you but joke. Did you e'er see him fear at Blanquetique, when almost singly he drove 6,000 French from the ford? Did he fear then? Yes, fear that made him fight so. By the same reason, I might say, 'tis fear that makes you fight. Mayhap, may look upon Edward's face. No one can say he fears, but when he turns his back, then I will say it in his face. He is afraid. He makes us all afraid. I cannot bear the enemy at my back. Now, we are at Gracie. Where tomorrow? Tomorrow we shall know. I say, Lord Audley, that Edward runs away from Philip. Perhaps you think that Percy is too afraid. Percy too is afraid. No, God forbid. I'm sure he is not. He is young lion. Oh, I have seen him fight and give command, and lightning has flashed from his eyes across the field. I have seen him shake hands with death and strike the bargain for the enemy. He has danced in the field of battle like the youth of Morris play. I'm sure he's not afraid, nor Warwick, nor none of us but me. And I am very much afraid. You are afraid too, Sir Thomas? I believe that as much as I believe the king's afraid. But what are you afraid of? Of having my back laid open. We turn our backs on the fire till we shall burn our skirts. And thus, Sir Thomas, you call fear? Your fear is of different kind than from the king's. He fears to turn his face, and you to turn your back. I do not think, Sir Thomas, you know what fear is. Oh my word. Oh, that's hilarious. Enter Sir John Chandos. Sir John Chandos. Good morrow, generals. I give you joy. Welcome to the fields of Crecy. Here we stop and wait for Philip. I hope so. I hope I'm giving these the right voices. No, that was the wrong way round. I hope so. There, Sir Thomas. Do you call that fear? I don't know. Perhaps take it by fits, we noble Chandos. Look you here, one rotten sheep spoils the whole flock. And if the bell-wether is tainted, I wish the prince may not catch the distemper too. Distemper, Sir Thomas? What distemper? I have not heard. Why, Chandos, you are a wise man. I know you'll understand me. Distemper. The king caught here in France of running away. So, Thomas, you say you might have caught it too. And so will the whole army. 'Tis very catching, for those the coward runs, the brave men totters, perhaps. The air in the country, in this case, I feel it coming upon me, so I strive against it. You yet are whole, but after a few more retreats, we all shall know how to retreat better than fight. To the plan, I think, retreating too often takes away a soldier's courage. Chand, here comes the king himself. Tell him your thoughts plainly, Sir Thomas. Dog. I've told him before, but he no, that's the other one. Terribly sorry. I've told him before, but his disorder makes him deaf. Enter King Edward and Black Prince. King. Good morning, generals. When English courage fails, down goes our right to France. but we are conquerors everywhere. Nothing can stand our soldiers. Each man is worthy of a triumph. Such an army of heroes ne'er shouted to the heavens, nor shook the field. Edward, my son, thou art most happy, having such command. The man were base who were not fired to deeds above heroic, having such examples. Prince. Sire. No, sorry, this is the Black Prince. What voice does he get? Sire, with respect and deference, I took upon such noble souls, and wish myself worthy of high command. That heaven you have given me, when I have seen the field glow, and each continuance, the soul of war, curbed by the manliest reason. I have been winged with certain victory, and 'tis my boast, and shall be still my glory. I was inspired by those brave troops. Dog. Your Grace had better make them all generals. King. Sir Thomas Dogworth, you must have your joke, and shall, while you fight as you did at the ford. Dog. I have small petition to your majesty. Petition. King. What can Sir Thomas Dogworth ask that Edward can refuse? Dogworth. I hope your majesty cannot refuse so great a trifle. I've glit your cause with my best blood, and would again, were I not forbid. By him whom I am bound to obey, my hands are tied up, my courage shrunk and withered, my sinews slackened, and my voice sore. My voice scarce heard. Therefore I beg my return to England. He sounds like an absolute coward. King. I know not what you could have asked, Sir Thomas, that I would not have sooner parted with than such a soldier as you having been, and such a friend. Nay, I will know the most remote particles of this your strange petition, that if I can, I still may keep you here. Dogwind. Here on the fields of Searsry we are settled, till Philip springs the timorous cover away. The wolf is haunted down by ceaseless fear, the lion flees, and the fear usurps his heart. Startled, astonished at his glamorous cock, the eagle that doth gaze upon the sun fears the small fire that plays upon the fen. If at the moment of their idle fear the dog doth seize the wolf, the fiercest, the lion, the negro, or the crevice of the rock, doth seize the soaring eagle, undone by flight, they tame submit, such the effort fight has on noble souls. Now here its opposite. The timorous stag starts from the thickest wild, and fearful crane springs from the splashy fen. The shining snake glide o'er the bending grass, and stag turns head. The bays, the crying hounds, the crane o'ertaken, fighting with the hawk, the snake doth turn and bite the padding foot. And if your majesty afraid of Philip, you are more than a lion, than a crane. Therefore I beg I may return to England. King. Sir Thomas, now I understand your mirth. How did you understand that? I understand your mirth, which often plays with wisdom for its pastime, and brings good counsel from the breast of laughter. I hope you'll say I hope you'll stay and see us fight this battle, and reap rich harvest in the fields of Crecy. Then go to England, tell them how we fight, and set all hearts on fire to be with us. Philip is plumed, and thinking we flee from him, else he would never dare to attack us. Now the quarry's set, the death doth sport in the bright sunshine of the fatal day. Dogwood. Now my heart dances, and I am as light as the young bridegroom going to be married. Now must I, my soldiers, now must I to my soldiers, get them ready, furbish our armories bright, new plume our helms, and we will sing like the young housewives busied in the dairy. My feet are winged, but not for flight. And please your grace, King, if all my soldiers are as pleased as you, 'twill be a gallant thing to fight or die. Then I can never be afraid of Philip. Dogwind. A raw-boned fellow today passed by me. I told him to pull off his hungry look. He answered me, I hunger for another battle. I saw a little Welshman with a fierce face. I told him he looked like a candle half burned out. He answered he was pig enough to light another battle. Last night beneath the moon I walked abroad, when all had pitched their tents, and all were still. I heard blooming youth singing a song he had composed, and at each pause he wiped his dripping eyes. The ditty was, if he returned victorious, he should wed a maiden fairer than snow, and rich as midsummer. Another wept and wished health to his father. I chid them both, but gave them noble hopes. Those are the minds that glory in the battle, and leap the dance to hear the triumphant sound. King. Sir Thomas Dogworth, by thou near our person, thy heart is richer than the value of France. I will not part with such a man as thee. If Philip came around in the ribs of death and shook his mortal dart against my head, thou'dst laugh his fury into neverless shame. Go now, for thou art suited to the work. Throughout the camp, enflame the timorous, blow up the sluggish into ardour, and confirm the strong with strength, and the weak inspire, and wing their brows with hope and expectation. Then to our tent return, and meet to counsel. Exit Dogworth, he has now walked off. Chand, what was his voice? Gotta go. Thank you for the reading. I hope you have a wonderful time, and thank you for dropping by, PG. Chand, what was his voice? Yes, that was his voice. That man's a hero in the closest, and more a hero in the servants of the house, than to go gaping world he carries windows in the enlarged breast of his, that all may see that's done within. Prince, he is a genuine. Oh no, hold on. Prince's voice. He is a genuine Englishman, my Chandlers, and hath the spirit of liberty within him. Forgive my prejudice, Sir John. I think my Englishmen the bravest people on the face of the earth. Chand. Courage, my lord, proceeds from dependency. Also, thank you ever so much for those bits. My apologies. Teach men to think he's free agent, give but a slave his liberty, and he'll shake off sloth and build himself a hut and hedge a spot of ground. This he'll defend, 'tis by his right of nature. Thus set in action, he will still move onward to plain convenience, till glory fires the breast to enlarge his castle, while the poor slave drudges all day in hope to rest at night. King. O liberty, how glorious art thou! I see thee, hovering o'er my army. With thy wide stretched plumes, I see thee. Lead them to battle. I see thee blow thy golden trumpet while thy sons shout the strong shout of victory. O noble Chandos, think thyself a gardener, my son of vine, which I commit unto thy care. Prune all extravagant shoots, and guide the ambition tendrils in the paths of wisdom. Water him with thy advice, and heaven rain freshening dew upon his branches. And Edward, my dear son, learn to think lowly of thyself, as we may all each prefer other. 'Tis the best policy, and 'tis our duty. Exit, King Edward. Prince. And may our duty, Chandos, be our pleasure. Now we are alone. Sir John, I will unburden the breath, my hopes into the burning air, where thousands of deaths are posting up and down, commissioned to this fatal field of Caesarea. Methinks I see them. Them arm my gallant soldiers, and gird the sword upon each thigh, and fit each shining helm, and sting each stubborn bow, and dance to the neighing of our steeds. Neighing, my apologies. I am struggling tonight, apparently. Methinks the shout begins, the battle burns, methinks I see the purge on English crests, and roar the wild flame of fierce war upon the thronged enemy. In truth, I am too full. It is my sin to love the noise of war. Chandos, thou seest my weakness. strong nature will bend or break us. My blood, like a spring tide, does rise so high to overflow all bounds of moderation, while reason in his frail bark then can see no shore or bound for vast abasion. Come, take the helm, my Chandos, that my full-blown sail overset may not in the wild tempest condemn my venturous youth, that plays with danger as the innocent child, unthinking, plays upon the viper's den. I am a coward in my reason, Chandos. Chanda, you are a man, my prince, and a brave man, if I can judge of action, but your heat is the effect of youth and want of use. Use makes the armed field, the noisy war, pass over the summer cloud, enguarded or but expected, as a thing of course. Age is contemplative. Each rolling year brings forth fruit in the mind's treasury house, while vacant youth doth crave and seek about within itself, and findeth discontent. Then, tired of thought, impatient, takes the wing, seizes the fruit of time, attacks experience, roams round vast nature's fields. There's no bounds are set. The swiftest may have room, the strongest find prey, till tired at length, sated and tired, with changing cements old variety, we sit down and view our former joys, with distance and dislike. Prince, then if we must tug for experience, let us not fear to beat round the nature's wilds, and rouse the strongest prey. Then if we fall with glory. I know the wolf is dangerous to fight, not good for food, nor is the hide a comely vestment. So have our battle for our pains. I know that youth has need of age to point fit prey, and off the stander by shall steal the fruit of the other's labor. This is philosophy. These are the tricks of the world, but the pure soul shall mount on native wings, disdaining little sport, and cut a path into the heaven of glory, leaving a track of light for men to wander at. I'm glad my father does not hear me talk. You can find friendly excuse for me, Chandos, but do not think, Sir John, that if it please thy Almighty to stretch out my span of life, I shall with pleasure view a glorious action, which my youth mastered. Chand, considered my age, my lord, views motives and not acts, when neither warbling voice nor thralling pipe is heard, nor pleasure sits with the voice of conscience, sweeter than music in the summer's eve, shall warble round the snowy head and keep sweet symphony to feathered angels sitting as guardians round the choir. Sorry, round your chair. Terribly sorry there. Then shall the pulse beat slow, and taste and touch and sight, sound and smell shall flee away, and leave him all forlorn. Yet not forlorn, if conscience is his friend. Scene 4 is next, though I shall be ending here for the night, where I am rapidly changing between many voices. It's deeply troubling for my vocal cord, and I do apologize for ending so soon, though next week we shall continue. I'm thoroughly enjoying the story, and I'm enjoying reading a different format of book. Let us find someone to raid, to bring our little book party to. Please show me Twitch. Silently. I forget how you search tags. Past videos. No, this isn't what I'm after. Browse. Tags. We'll raid other people that are using the reading aloud tags, though I am not sure quite whom. That person is playing a game. Let's raid you. I reckon this will be pleasant. So, as ever, I hope you have a wonderful evening. I need to set this up. Have love in your heart, and spread nothing but love. If you must raise your voice, raise your violence in anger, be it with calm head. Do not strike your foe while enraged, lest you yourself shall be struck down. Ta-ra.